Stepping up to the couch, it's Brian, who led the league last season in cracked screens. But with his new athletic case, it looks like that won't be the case. Touchdown, Brian!
Welcome to Players Only on TNT, presented by State Farm. We have the Pelicans taking on the Rockets now for Holiday.
Well, I know Holiday is a two-way player. He gives James Harden fits. It's shown up in the stat sheet.
And Grant, we talked to Coach, and he talked about the addition of Fareed and how he's been for him.
Who can come in and set screens, roll to the basket, definitely has helped Houston.
Okay, already the manimal.
Break that down for us, JT and Grant. What do you think Coach means by that?
He doesn't like the ball to stop. He doesn't like you to either.
Now we see that double team, and yeah.
It's like the 90s right here.
Right. Get it out of his hand.
And he found the right man in Gordon. Not
50, 60, or as Isaiah said, 70.
We've seen some guys try that as Okafor taps it in. Your namesake, Grant.
That's my cousin. And Okafor right now, I tell you, he has been playing.
Game plan and the belief to come out and compete very undermanned tonight.
Well, as a coach, there's certain elements of this game.
Are you surprised to see Anthony Davis and we see Okafor down low?
That's all night.
Yeah, I mean,
but that's their design. When you play for D'Antoni, Grant, defensively, it was that kind of what he wants to accomplish.
When I heard y'all had
man game off the ball, and now you see they get the switch they wanted, penetrating kick.
Now, really playing with no hands, taking away any of their. As Hart knocks down the three, he makes it so difficult for defenders to guard him. As we see Miller puts his hand behind his back.
That's the worst defensive technique, Zeke.
And just so crafty, using his body, drawing fouls.
Oh, yeah. Bingo.
I don't know how you call it.
For years, he became an irritant. He picked him up full court. He tried to draw some offensive fouls. And James still had 37.
Behind your back. Now, mind you, they do not have Anthony Davis in the backside of the defense, so he's not anchoring the defense. So if you channel him.
He's probably one of the most complete players offensively, but he also understands the rules offensively probably better than any other player.
And then the news of Anthony Davis wanting to move on. And obviously you understand it's a business and he has every right to make that.
This is where the game gets a little interesting. Undermanned New Orleans Pelicans go deep into their bench, as deep as they can go. And Chris Paul are not on the floor for the first time this season. I guarantee it.
And conversely for Houston, you can't.
You know, and it's knocked down to three, but you don't want to have a turnover here.
Line up, they'll put him in pick and roll situations. They'll also use screening situations off the ball to get him looks.
Options on the offensive end.
And Karana, as you watch from the sideline and his energy, you look at Fareed, who has brought just great energy to the Rockets at a time of need center position that's going to be very effective for Paul and Harden.
It gives him a great dynamic.
And he's still learning how to play with Chris Paul and James Harden. That timing down his green.
Athlete, but never could really find a coach or the team and the system that fit him. And here in Houston, he's found it.
Second half of the season strong, going into the postseason, playing their best basketball.
And we can be totally honest and transparent in that meeting as well. He said Harden.
Yeah, I played with him in Phoenix, and we didn't go hard in preseason, in training camp. He wanted you to work to get yourself ready. Big picture perspective. And certainly got off to a little slow start here, but now they're starting to find their groove at this point of the season.
Right.
Great for a vet.
Roll. Great decision. Yes, sir.
Ball Harden as well. I was unsure of that going into last season. They sure proved me wrong and all the other doubters.
Big switching out on Paul. But I think where Houston is vulnerable right now in this position is Houston.
It's not going to be a Paul George or Kawhi Leonard situation. Anyone else who comes to the table. It's a couple organizations that get it right. Detroit Pistons, Chicago Bulls, Boston Celtics.
It really resonated with him.
And I heard Kevin say that on multiple occasions. And then if that don't work, what you should have told him is, okay, let me call the jet and see if I can. There they go, double teaming again. Great decision, good pass out of the double team.
Pelican 10-0 run, the double team again, and they're going to let Tucker eat all that he can. And
well, if you've seen Tucker, he ain't scared to eat. He's going to eat all night.
Being guarded and seeing a lot of different defenses. Okafor inside again, inside the defense that he's seen.
And I think that's a skill set that he learned early on when he played with OKC.
Sit behind the double team immediately, and that's what he does.
Trying to figure out what kind of pass he made there. But you got to believe, you got to compete, and they're doing that for the most part. As Houston knows, hands go by Harden.
You saw the double team coming from the weak side with Tucker. Harden pulls up for a three, and that's what he's drinking a sip of water.
Well, great adjustment by Coach D'Antoni and his staff to come out of the timeout and trap.
To drive to the basket. But you got to give the Pelicans a lot of credit for staying in the game.
Okafor is throwing it down tonight. Prior to the game and also during the game, when you're talking about having one starter available, and this is an opportunity for a lot of other guys.
Can they close out this quarter, this possession, and at least get a good look at the basket on the offensive end? Yes, they did.
Pass. There you go, man. Quarter to see a lot more Chris Paul pick and rolls in the middle of the floor. Shooter space. And he spread out. Free throws attempted and made tonight. So tough night for the Bears, but it's fourth quarter time, and you know the MVP will show up.
But when Harden is off like he is right now, then your offense is going to struggle. And he's been so good and so consistent. Has a three-point.
We asked him, why does Holiday have such success guarding Harden? And he referenced the New Orleans break out of the transition, and now you're down to 5 seconds on the shot clock, and you're going to have to take a tough shot here.
Rich Rivers turns it.
Execute, get the ball inside.
And when we talk about slowing it down, controlling tempo, getting the ball inside,
these Pelicans, they're just hanging around, scrappy basketball.
Love the way Frazier is playing.
When you think about Houston, like Chris Paul is a guy that feasts in the mid-range. Think of a Kevin Durant, a great closer. So it may play a role here down the stretch. But right there,
another easy basket.
And Okafor, these last 4 minutes of the game.
Wow.
He's good. The work just a little bit better, but they're still very undersized. And Holiday gets to the cup and scores again. Good defense, good rebound. Now they have to score right here. This is a must-score possession. Let's see if James can get to the basket and get fouled. Oh, easy. Rockets in the first quarter were 8 for 16. Now he's usually open. Another turnover. Look for a quick trap, rotate, and go for a foul. Run through him. Good pass.
Holiday on the assist to Okafor. And the Pelicans have 7 turnovers in this quarter alone.
Oh, wow. I'm going for the steal, and you get a foul, so you can extend the game. There you go. Quick foul. James Harden's going to push. He's going to look to attack. If he can't pull up. Oh!
Wow.
Great defensive plays by Holiday. We have the 76ers at the Lakers. Right now, Pelicans up 5. 3 seconds to go. Houston ball.
If you're the Pelicans, don't touch anybody. Hey, that's a wrap.
Great win by the Pelicans. They come back.